Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my stream. I'm Keith Dro. Most of you know me from EVE Online, painting a little bit of Elite Dangerous for you tonight who are bored out of your mind, so bored to tears that you want to sit here, mostly not listen to my voice, and watch my spaceship go neutron jump after neutron jump, wondering when it's going to finally fall into one as I fall asleep and hit the keyboard. So I'm taking off here from Colonia space, and I'm headed out towards a black hole in the center of the Milky Way in hopes to set this distance record. As I'm saying, it's hours and hours of space travel, so I won't be doing much on comms. I'll be watching TV or something in the background, but feel free to just be bored out of your mind and take a good look at this game. I'm streaming in 4K, should be a nice resolution picture for everybody at the very least, so enjoy. Going to be taking off here after after making some modifications to my ship. It's very specifically fit to as far as like a hyperspace jump as possible. While at the same time, once I make it out to the galaxy, hopefully has enough fuel to go to warp speed essentially for days, actual days of time. Just leaving my computer on with the game running and have it go on and on and on for days to go several light years to hopefully a couple of dozen light years.
Landing gear retracted.
To set the distance record. Hopefully there's not too much feedback. For those of you unfamiliar to the game, I am plotting a jump right now, making my way over to some neutron stars. As soon as I find out what I did with that web page. Yeah, this is it. Going to Magellan. Assuming the game works. So that's weird when it does that. If you have VR, you need to play this game. Everyone who's gotten VR for this game or gotten VR and played this game that I've talked to said it was worth their $600 on their Oculus Rift or whatever the hell they bought once they started playing this otherwise boring game. That everything just popped for them, that everything looked pretty cool. And actually, depending on what you're into, the game's not too boring. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do. After I'm done with this crazy quest, I'm going to go back and kill all these aliens they threw in this game. Get some pew-pew in. Alright.
Frameshift drive charging.
And again, for those of you unfamiliar with this game, I'm essentially doing EVE. We're doing assignment jumping, capital ship jumping, hyperspace jumping from one solar system to another. But, you know, so, because you can't really warp from the solar system to the other. So, to get to one system, you have to do this hyperjump. And I've already scanned the system and everything in it. So, here's a neutron star. What you're seeing there are the exhaust streams from the star. These things have a whole lot of gravity to pull you in. As I get closer, sometimes you'll see the borderline kind of show up. That's oh shit, it says impact in the top right. That means you're going to crash into the outer edge of the warning area of the gravity well of the star. But you don't want to come out of warp there because it will end up damaging your ship and all your modules on your ship, including ones that cannot be repaired. And it also is not great to sometimes come back to light speed from that. If you're anywhere
Warning,
near the
frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
And as you see in the top right there, it says frameshift drive supercharged. So what I did there is I wrote the exhaust cone out. Away from the star, needless to say, not into the star, that's bad. Out of the star, and what that does is gives you a 200% or 4 times increase to your jump range. So now that, and I'll show you what I'm jumping over here. Here's my route. Starting off in Colonia and Magellan that we're in now, this is our next jump over here to this solar system. with yet another neutron star. Yes, neutron, 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 neutron. All the way down, all the way to get to here, just to get to a resting point, right? That's going to be several dozen jumps. And then another dozen jumps or so from the resting point not too far to Sagittarius A, where we have the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. But a lot of work ahead of us, right? I made it all the way down to about here and had to turn around and go home last night because I only realized that there are repair drones that can repair your own ship. In EVE Online, our drones only repair other people's ships. They can't repair your own ship. And Elite Dangerous repair drones can repair other people's ships or your ship. Pretty cool. So figured if I, accidentally fall asleep and crash into more neutron stars, neither repair some hull damage, might be a good idea to go back and get those drones. So went 8,000 light years back to get the drones. Pretty awful. But 200 light years at a time could be worse. So again, go into this next solar system here as we start our journey back towards the, and I'll show you something a little prettier here. This is what the stars would really look like. In this game, there are like the Milky Way galaxy, there are 400 billion stars in the game. 200,000 of which are accurately represented as from real stars in the Milky Way. So let me back out here. So we're going to this next neutron star, and here are all the stars around it, and all the stars around those. And there's no way to smoothly do this, unfortunately, or maybe there is with a mouse. Use an Xbox One controller. Don't get a HOTAS yet because I'm lazy. And good ones are money. Okay, so as you see here, originally I started off, Earth is over here on the outer galactic arm, right, where you see I have a whole ton of bookmarks and have done a whole bunch of crap. It's all over there. And eventually I made my way, at these major waypoints all the way down, a third of the way across the galaxy, more or less, about halfway, to Colonia area here, right? Colonia and this, I don't remember what the heck nebula that is. And then now I'm making my way from Colonia all the way to the center of the galaxy over here. Oops, that was a mistake. And from the center of the galaxy to get the farthest distance from Earth, from Sol record, we would then come this way. And I believe it's I think it's out on this arm. We have to like zigzag, come out on this arm. And if I'm not mistaken, the last star is somewhere out here. And then we super cruise for a few days just out into the black void into nothing and see how far we can get. Please notice that this is done in part for charity, not just my own fun and entertainment and boredom, but in charity. So please see the top right link in the video there. You see the charity fund. You can go ahead and donate to that. Obviously a great cause. We've got St. Jude's up there at the moment, at least for this video. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Please donate to them. Well, they're a great organization. But again, heading out to Sagittarius A. So
Frameshift drive charging.
can't mess around here. This is where I come out of warp on the start. This is where you fall asleep. This is kind of hypnotic. That was the jump, right? A little bit hypnotic. You come out of warp, and then you fall asleep and then boom, you're at this thing. Here's the thing. Whenever you come out of a hyperspace jump, you see there's the circle that pops up, the border. You are at full warp and you have to pull back. You're at full warp every time and you get sucked into the middle of a star every time you're coming out of every hyperspace jump pretty much. So you have to be on the ball to slow down your ship every time, and doubling on it for neutron stars because they pull you in faster. So again, we're going to go over to the bookmarks. We're going to go ahead and just get our next system ready. We should have enough fuel to make a few jumps before having to refuel again. So we're going to pick our next star over here. Very pretty, this game. I mean, it's one thing, there's a, it may be boring, maybe not, but the game is one thing, is pretty. That's why people want the VR. I'm sure love it so much, but I'm waiting for a high-def VR. I'm looking at a high-def screen.
Warning, frameshift drive operating Operating beyond safety limits.
I tried that. Alright, that did not take. I need to get to the exhaust jet of that star just a little bit more wherever it went. Unfortunately, the ship that I have for exploration is an unwieldy slow ship to maneuver and to try to like turn around. This game has something against maneuvering thrusters, right? It's not like Star Citizen. It's not even like Eve, where for the most part our ships, at least in like 10 seconds or something, can like or like if turn around more or less.
Frameshift drive
Back there.
operating
This
beyond
is
safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
this is bad
Frameshift drive
by
charging.
comparison. All right. Takes a while to turn, and this is a big ship. Like, there are some ships that turn around really well in this game and flip around, but this being one of the largest class vessel, one of the largest class of vessels that you can get, or a type of class vessel. However, for the purposes of exploration, this distance record, this is like an all-around badass ship, and it's great for exploration. I cannot get any other ship, pretty much. Maybe the Diamondback before, but even then, I think it still falls a few other ships. I can't get any stripped-down ship to jump as far as a well-engineered Anaconda, which is what this is. So let's see, I've scanned this already, so I can just go through the system. So we'll have one more, and then we need to refuel, getting the next jump ready. So yeah, so might as well take the Anaconda anyway, because you can put a whole lot of stuff on it while still jumping it really far. So it's great for exploration. I've got, unfortunately I took a fighter hangar off here, but it's not really useful for this journey to fit it with more appropriate things. But what I do have is like a dual SRV thing, whatever, dual like planet runner. So if I need to go down to the planet and pick up materials.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive.
I can go down there and I can do that. And in fact, other people who play the game can go down there and take out one of my other carts, or pilot the ship and fly around while I do stuff in the cart or whatever. Or also, you can, if you wanted, you could jump in like to my ship right now if you play the game and like sit in as like a hologram or something. Tell me I did that right.
Frameshift drive charging.
So yeah, you can tag along, and I'll check to see if anyone wants to do that here shortly. Sidetrack.
Ready to engage.
Unexplored. So this you can make money essentially. Which, oh shit, I forgot to turn in. Oh, I forgot to turn in on my scanning stuff. You can make money essentially by scanning stars that nobody else, or at least you didn't scan before. In addition to, I have this thing on my ship which scans the whole solar system, and if there were additional objects in the system, it would make a little more money. Now, you can make even way more money if you go take this planetary scanner, if I'm not mistaken, and you go find planets, some planets with more than others,
Warning,
and ones that are
frameshift drive
terraformable. You go, you
operating
scan those
beyond
planet
safety
scanner,
limits.
and again, depending on
Frameshift drive supercharged.
or at the very least, whether or not you scanned them before, you can then go make a whole lot of money on that. In fact, if you go out on a big run like I'm doing and do even just some of the scanning I'm doing, by the time you get back, you might be all the way up to elite mode, or excuse me, elite ranking. Because there's like 3 different types of things. You either get combat or trade or exploration, and this would take you all the way to like the highest level, elite level in exploration. Okay, so the next star needs to have some gas fuel, or we need to fill up more gas, not actual space gas. And for that, we need a regular looking map of pretty stars, just because Alright, there's a neutron star there, but we need gas, and we have a fuel scooper, and fuel scoopers pull gas out of a certain class of stars, and if I'm not mistaken, as you see here, the star type, it is the O from the top of the list all the way down to at least the M, and I believe it stops from L on down. So if you get O to M at the very least, you should be good. This is a K, we're good to go. So we're going to try and select this star here, and we're charged up. We're going to jump onto it because, as you see, our fuel on the bottom right corner. Hey, there's a few of you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, star probably hasn't been discovered by anybody. I'll show you that in a second. Let's get a little closer to it.
Fuel scooping.
It's called honking the horn. If you hear here, it's about to go bong. That noise, we call that honking. That is the scanner that scans everything in the solar system. So we're gonna all of our all of our jumps are based on a jump range of 57 light years, max, minimum, or whatever. So as you see, as we're getting fuel here, jump range is decreasing 60.3, 60.2, 60 point whatever, and so forth. We need to stop that. We need to stop what we're doing before that gets under 57.0. Cool thing is we can just go over to our. Actually, need to turn some of this stuff off. Live support sensors. I'm just gonna turn it off. Here, look at the controller. Heat map. One of those needs to be on. Cargo. Okay. So we just go over here to fuel scoop, and we can just turn it off when it gets there, so we don't have to worry about pulling away from the star or anything. And it's getting there. So real quick, before this goes, we can see by going into the information of the system that, look, nobody has explored this entire system, so my name will be on this after I return the scan data, right? So I make it back to the station alive with this scan data of the star and anything in the system. It puts my name on whatever I got up close to, like the star, was first discovered by Keith Drow. Now, yeah, so that will be, many days or a couple of weeks from now, after I hopefully, if I survive, set the record, come back, survive the journey home. It's because you can't just set the record, right? The explorer has to make it back and tell everybody what they saw. Okay, so we stopped our fuel scoop there at our star here, and let's just start moving away from it before we go back into navigation, since it's a little slow. Okay, back to navigation. Any neutron star around us will do, but I believe one's over here. So
Frameshift drive charging.
And let's get back to going. Before I jump, one more thing we need to do. The fuel scoop has to be online if you want to do the neutron star boosting. Run back. Find that out really quick. Frame shift drive to go 4x. Oh, that's voice sometimes. Oh shit. Ah, crap. FC can't click on things when you're about to come out of hyperspace on a neutron star. See that? Whoo, just stopped in time. Alright, so let me turn down the game volume. I can turn that down quite a bit there. How about that? Is that better? Sorry about that. Okay, anyway, so because I just turned it off, I can't hear it, so it wouldn't feedback. What am I doing? I'm in warp. Let's just take one more check, make sure our fuel scoop's on. It's on. Let's go. Slow down. Yeah, you want to slow down and you want to like belly on this thing. You know what I mean? There you go. And it, from what I can tell, it's not the speed you go through it. It's not the flips. It's not the whether or not you're, you fuck or mess with the throttle. There you go. It's the amount of time you spend in the cone. And I actually haven't, I don't know, it's probably like 6 seconds or something like that. I don't know, I didn't actually have it counted yet. But you have to spend X amount of time on that jet before you will get your boost. At least as far as I can tell, I've tried every other combination of stuff, and overall it just seems to be how much time you squat on it, at least in the current patch. Okay, so we need to go back. We're not actually making pretty decent time. We're probably, yep, sure enough, we're in 674, V6 674, and 400, 400 billion stars, folks. They can't all get names. And off we are to the next one. Try to click on it, and there we go, and here we go. Actually, before we go over there, let me just align for a second. We got a comment here, Chad. Oh, right on, Roland. Yeah, I was wondering if you synth a neutron jump, would you then, like if you 200% boosted, synth boosted, so you can there's one other way you can boost your jump drive range, and that's with the synthesis, like we were talking about earlier. But obviously the materials to do that are very time consuming to collect, and you don't get to do that, like maybe more than probably, oh shit, what the fuck is wrong, like oops, sorry, about 5 or 10 times before you're in a bad way. Or sorry, before you just like run out of materials and you can't do it anymore. So I was wondering, yeah, if you could like do a synth boost, which gives you 4x on top of a neutron boost, and whether or not you would get which is 4x, and whether or not you would get 8 or 16x, whether or not any of those would stack at all. So Roland says yups. So which is it? Is it 8x or 16x? Is it 4 and 4 or 4 times 4? So I'm a little lagged. We'll see what he says in chat in a moment. I'm lazy. I don't want to type. Hard enough piloting this thing through this jet, because it throws you all over, right? And like I said, you want to stay in it. Usually not too fast, because if you fall out of it, you can turn around and get back in it. Having to reapproach it from the sun or the stars again, in this Anaconda. Like I said, maneuvering not that easy. Makes it a big pain in the butt. Polonium, yes, polonium. Oh my gosh, yeah, polonium is one of the things you need for FSD injection for the 200%, and like Roland's saying, it's so hard to collect. Yeah, I think it took me 10 hours or something, or 8 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours to collect enough just to do the injection like 11 times or something like that. It was ridiculous. It's an excessively rare mineral in this game. Some of these things in this game, like they haven't fine-tuned a lot of important things in this game. Like should we really have to go around spending that many hours collecting this one little annoyingly hard to get like thing, or could you just relax on that a bit, since we're just doing it for like jump range exploration things anyway. It's like they could use a little bit of rebalancing. Okay, so where's next on the list? Yeah, I mean the game doesn't. No game needs to be more of a grind than absolutely necessary, and something like that is just a bit too much. Kind of like with some of the materials you need to get an item to level 5 with an engineer in this game. For those who play know what I'm talking about. For those who don't, forget it. I'm not explaining it. But to get that some of those level 5 materials, same thing. Some of them are just obnoxiously hours to collect, and it doesn't need to be, I don't think, like that difficult. Just to try to get like 15 rolls in, because 13 of them are going to be. Yeah, Diamondback Explorer. The last one I took out to Colonia, when I fit one of those, I had a real nice 58% or something ridiculous, or 53% God roll, like FSD engineered level 5 thing. And I'm talking to Roland again. And that was just that was great. I could do with like he's saying, I could do like over 200 light years when you boost off of a neutron star. And here we go again. It's important to note our fuel looks good. You might say, hey, well, why is it always on the bottom like that? You don't fill it up very far. It looks like you're almost about empty, like all the time. Well, there's a good reason for that. Is because I have a whole bunch, I have some fuel tanks on this ship that I don't have full. And the reason for that is weight. For every ton of fuel, you are, there's a couple of, like maybe 0.1 or 2 light years less that I can jump, just like you were seeing when I was filling up what my light year range is. Now, as you see here, it shows us our boosted range of, you take 234 divided by 4, that's our base range, but that's, but at 255 would be our max, again, but that's if we had no fuel. So because we have fuel, less, because we have drones, because certain things are fit to our ship, they make our ship heavier, and so we go less distance. Okay, so here we go, another jump. Fuel's still good.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, when I went, Roland's commenting about how his lovely Diamondbacks. Again, if you want to go exploring, really probably the only ship you'd want to take besides an Anaconda or alongside one is fully engineered. He fully inspect this thing out. Well, when I first started playing, I went to Colonia fairly early in my time here. Diamondback Explorer is a fairly inexpensive ship to get a hold of and fit well, at least for where I was at the time. And but engineering, that's a lot of work, and I didn't want to spend all that work yet. So I probably spent about 80 hours of gameplay to get the engineering. You have to do all these crazy things to get access to each and every one of these engineers, and I need access to about 6 or 7 or so engineers in order to engineer my frameshift drive, engineer the fittings on your ship. Why isn't this thing scanning? Oh, it's because it's not 5 light seconds yet. To scan a neutron star, or the bigger the star, the farther away you can be from it to get it in scan range. For neutron stars, gosh forbid, we have to be within 5 light seconds of the star, and I'm only hoping / imagining that we don't start crossing the borderline, but we don't see it pop up yet, although a lot of the times it doesn't, just because of your angle and your speed. But in the top right corner, it doesn't say impact yet, which I'm going nice and slow here relatively, so if we see impact, we know we're in trouble. We can slow down. Okay. You might notice, by the way, my screen is blue, Elite Dangerous. Most our other people's screens are usually orange. Sometimes they're other colors. There's things you can do to change the HUD colors, but you have to edit some file, and it makes a number of things look a little funny. But so anyway, that's what I've done to get some cool blue and yellow and red and deep red colors. Makes reading warnings when you're trying to fit modules kind of difficult. So you gotta watch out for that fine details. That red background on the text, like dark blue boxes, is very hard to see. Okay, we scanned our star here. Yay! If I ever survive, I'll get paid for it someday. Now let's go gas hopping, or whatever you want to call this. Radiation hopping, probably a better word.
Warning.
Roland here says in chat 90% of his credits are from exploration.
Frameshift drive.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money doing this. I've made money from a variety of aspects of the game. Some were intentional grinds just to build up the wallet. If you've probably seen it somewhere, you've seen that the wallet's pretty well built up, but it is nice then to just not have to worry about when you want to go out and do something like this, what you need. And there are some new ships coming out here in about a month and a half, and on the beta, I believe, on January 25th. And it would be nice to afford those when they come out. Don't have to grind for a while. Just grind, get it out of the way. Buy a whole bunch of crap before you want to shoot yourself and playing the game. But this is a great game for what it's worth to just watch other things, which I'll probably do here in a little bit. I'm enjoying talking to y'all right now. What few of you are streaming, and the rest of you may watch this video later. I picked YouTube in part. I know if you do Twitch. Yeah, sure, I love to do Twitch. But I didn't do 4K. I got all this 4K stuff. I got a remarkably good upload speed for living in the United States. So I want to stream in 4K. So YouTube it is, just because it's easy. I use that open source OBS software. Might use Game Show once I get a little more pro at this. Seems to be some good software. I'm used to like old school Adobe Director and other things, so these don't have quite the same feel, so it takes me a while to learn it. But yeah, this is a great game to like watch, like Netflix on your phone or another monitor or whatever you got, right? While you like play this game. Get some shows in, especially during some of the more grinding aspects. There's some AFK things, semi-AFK things you can do to grind in this game too, more or less. That you can step away from the computer for maybe 5, 10, 30 minutes at a time. And then go chill around the house, go play with your dogs or family, whatever. And then come back, dabble around, go out, come back, dabble around, make your money, go back and forth with it, makes it a little easier. Okay, on our way to our next system, and we're going to need a fuel star soon. It is quite repetitive. Usually I have waypoints, and we are very slowly getting to a waypoint. But then they're a little more spaced out after that. For example, wrong one. So, oh wait, no, right one. So we get to, the waypoints, see this is how many stars we've gone. And we need to go all these many stars. And this will probably have a planet or some cool celestial body or whatever to look at. I don't know, I'll have to look at a list. Speaking of which, sorry for the way my voice sounds. I have some dental issues at the moment that make my voice sound a little funny. Let's see. Okay, so then we get to Sagittarius A, and then there's I think this is another cool waypoint to see after that. This is, by the way, based off of the Beagle Point Exploration. By the way, if you're interested, Beagle Point Expedition, sorry. I believe this is starting on January 20th. Yeah, January 20th, this is going out. They have this route planned. Well, I'm already in the middle of doing my stuff, and I can't do this or the other cool expeditions that are going out at the moment. But I thought it'd be cool to take their route and do it for myself and stop off at all the cool places that they're going to stop off. And if I'm really slow about it, who knows, maybe I'll end up seeing some of them. So check out the Beagle Point Expedition if you're an explorer. But see these items in blue here as we get farther and farther out to the edge of the galaxy. These are all places to stop for the Beagle Point Expedition. I'll be stopping along them too, just to take a look at what's out there. It gets you in between some of the other some of this, just something to do besides jumping. Kind of like Eve. If any of you have ever played with me and Eve, I leave big fleets in Eve, and dozens or hundreds of you have been on my op switcher. It's nothing but jump after jump after jump after jump. Sometimes we don't get to shoot anything, and 2, 3, 4 hours, 6 hours later, you just want to slam your head into the desk and go, oh, geez, another key fob. But it's fun. One of the nice things I kind of like a lot about Elite Dangerous and the fact that, like in Eve, I have to herd cats, and there's a lot of cat herding to be done. But although less these days, but in Elite Dangerous, the cool thing is there's more NPCs than anything else in this game. There aren't really any cats to herd. I'm not even in like a corporation, or I'm on some cool Discords for some cool people, but that's it, right? Like I haven't like joined up with a group to go pew people or whatever. I can just go off and explore and do this mind-numbing stuff that's just otherwise very relaxing. Like I said, you can then just get in some of the TV or whatever you wanted to when we're doing And again, very pretty, especially as we start to stop off at some of these sites. I've actually managed to get a few people to install ED, and a couple of people probably to even buy it, I believe. But a few people to reinstall it who've already bought it just because of all the screenshots, just from straight up screenshots I've been posting on some of our, non-ED discords lately, and because some of the views and some of the whatnot in this game really are tremendous, and eventually we'll get there, but probably not in this video, and probably not tonight. It's just many hours away still. Alright, pretty sure we need fuel because I forgot that last time. We're at 972. Time to go there. Let's just go ahead and get fuel. That's difficult. Okay, close enough. Right on the money.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, the Neutron, Roland's talking about using the Neutron Highway list to plan trips. But yeah, that's why I recommend you go to spanish.co.uk here. There's a few Neutron plotters out there. I'm not sure, but I think the ED Discovery tool, I know it's got some kind of planner. All right, here we are to hopefully undiscover my star that might have my name on it someday. Got my name on a few things in this game, and that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, although that's kept track of in-game, I don't believe there's any added to things that track that, or it's not, provided via an API, dump yet. So, yeah, good luck ever figuring out what the hell you've seen. Unless you bookmark it, and there's a limited amount of bookmarks, it's not going to happen. But whatever. Alright, and just out of curiosity, has anyone discovered this star? Nope. You have to wait. Sometimes it doesn't show up. Yeah, nope. Everything unexplored. Well, hey, why don't you go to explore those other planets? Well, then that just takes time out of me getting to my destination today. Plus, there's this thing where the more time you spend in warp, the more integrity you lose. The more ship integrity you lose. I'm trying to save and it's because it's going to be completely drained when I do the big warp to try to set the record. So, if I even make it that far. So I'm not trying to do warp arounds to too much here. If there's like a sun, like 1,000 light years away or something, maybe that someone haven't seen, great. I could probably only, head towards it for all of probably 15 or 20 seconds, start scanning it, add that, then jump out of system. But don't want to warp, in other words, any longer than I have to. Unfortunately, I had to downgrade a fuel scoop, so that means I actually have to stay in warp by the star longer than I would otherwise want to. Alright, almost down to 57.0. By the way, when you use the Spanish.co.uk plotter, it gives you a... Hang on, I'll show you in a minute. Otherwise, I'll screw this up. 20...
Disengaged.
Alright, hang on. Let's get away from the star first. No, let's take a nice picture, though. Oh. Let's not screw that up. That's nice. There are better ones to take, but that'll do. Nice picture of some star discovered in the middle of nowhere. Alright, warping away here. And I'll show you what I was talking about in just a moment. I believe that is our... I think. Oh, we can just go over here.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, on the Spanish.co.uk site, if you do use this, you'll see that tells you what's your light range, or like I said, 57 light years is what we're going for. But there's a sufficiency. The short story is that if you want the least amount of total jumps, which so you got 778 to do, minus the 10, 12, 13 that we did, so 764 more to go, 65 more to go. Let's stop here at the star. This is maybe hopefully I've discovered a few neutron stars that nobody's been to on the way out here and messing around also, which is really nice because a lot of people since they came out a year or so ago have been specifically neutron star hunting to be the first to discover and make a lot of money and get their names on them. So we're going to go to what's hopefully the next neutron star here. But yeah, anyway, 40. So if you want the least amount, 40. Don't forget, 40% efficiency on the plotter, least amount of jumps, 778 jumps still for us. And only another, 14. I guess there's an area here where there aren't any neutron stars, so to do a whole bunch of manual jumps. But hey, probably only another 40 jumps before we're at the waypoint. Shoot me now. It's nice when the waypoint's a planet too. Actually, we'll take the time to land on it, to get some good pictures in, log off of the evening. Oh, crap. Let's just do this again. Remember what I said about having to reapproach the star from the center? Yeah. Just having to rotate the whole ship. And needless to say, when you go faster, although oddly, kind of stupidly, then you get some more, you can turn faster. But we can't go too fast because we're trying to circle around a neutron star. And you don't want to get too far away from it. You can't get too close to it or you're going to get in a lot of trouble. It's not fun. But that's the challenge, right? Do the stuff right the first time, be a good pilot. Keith. And, yeah. Oh, and and don't forget to turn on your fuel scoop. Keith.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
What is it, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it's about 6 seconds or so, it seems. We're not exactly using a stopwatch. Alright.
Frameshift drive charging.
223 light years. Alright, I'm going to cut off the mic for a bit and focus on some TV. Thank you very much for watching this far. Hopefully I aren't completely bored out of your mind, but this is where we're getting at Elite Dangerous, and this is when you need to burn out for a little bit, so I'm going to go do that. In fact, let's see, what are we at for time? 43 minutes. I'm going to cut it off here and then restream as a new broadcast. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please, if you're watching, go ahead and reconnect to the next stream. See you shortly. Hello again and welcome to Keith Dro's videos on Elite Dangerous. Just ended the last stream here to pick up another one immediately after. I am in the midst of, nowhere. in the middle of, as you see here, in this sector of space and wherever Limu is. Stars, stars, everywhere, stars. Okay, as we start back here, more stars, billions of stars. And this is where I'm at. As we ended the last video, I was making my way towards the only waypoint on my way to Sagittarius A, the black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. We left from Colonia after reshipping some stuff to my ship, after finding out some things in game, because I'm only playing for a few months, I'm kind of new, and I heard there are these drones that repair your ship, and because I get lazy, fall out of sleep on and coming out of hyperspace up on neutron stars, my ship gets damaged, and I need to repair my ship. So I thought, you know what, maybe I should get those drones. So we're going to continue our journey today towards Sagittarius A, and from there all the way out to the outer arm of the galaxy, although that will be many more videos from now. So from here, trying to get to, this video will be getting from where we're at to my midway point, using Spanish.co.uk's plotter, using a 57 light year jump and 40% efficiency, because that usually gets you the least amount of total jumps. As you see, there's 778 total jumps I'm going to have to do from Colonia to where I need to go at Beagle Point. And from there, to set the distance records, there's several more jumps out to Samotis Beacon, and then the endless warp into the void. Alright, so these are all the systems I've done since the last video. Got, I don't know, maybe a little over a dozen there. And then we have all of these to do, and all of those to do before we finally get to this blue one, which is our or my next waypoint. The waypoints I'm following is the Beagle Point expedition that's coming up on January 20th of this year. Please check them out on the Frontier forums. That is the Beagle Point expedition. Unfortunately, since I was in the middle of all of this, I can't go out with them on this expedition, but I thought, hey, why not use their waypoints, because there's a number of things to see there, and as opposed to just jumping star to star to star, it's nice to stop somewhere every once in a while, break the monotony, and take some nice pictures of cool stuff. Alright, so we are in 2208. We need to go to our next jump over here. I'll move this off the screen for you. And for those who haven't seen any of these videos before, don't know what Elite Dangerous is, or don't know what I'm doing, there are all these neutron stars in the galaxy. It's something they added, I don't know, a year or two ago with some patches, and I've only played for a few months. And the cool thing about it is, if you boost off their jet cones, if you fly through these jet cone trails, you get a boost to your hyperspace jump range, more or less, or fuel efficiency, sort of. But it ends up being the same thing. And you can jump much farther, so you jump like 200 light years at once instead of 50 light years at once when we do the boosting right. My ship is very slow to turn around, so boy does it stink to not do the boosting right.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Towards the star. That will suck us into a gravity well and really hurt our ship, or worse, end up destroying us because we get stuck in the jet cone. Or at least that's what I think happens. I don't recall it ever happening to me, but hey, you never know what happens when you're flying around late at night all tired or worse. So there won't be much talking out of me in this video, folks. I'm just wanted to show you that here. We're getting off to the next system, and this is a rinse and repeat process for the rest of this video. You might get to see me accidentally fall out on stars and make an ass of myself out of emergency warp on neutron stars. Otherwise, enjoy the show. I'm going to be watching some videos instead in the background. Thank you for watching.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.